Our media partners at The Hill have launched a new podcast, and it's called The Switch Up. It takes a closer look at race in the world of politics through intimate conversations with communities of color. And joining us now is host Cheyanne Daniels. And Cheyanne, welcome back to Capitol Review. Let's just talk about this effort. Why is it important to talk about race in politics, and what's your number one goal and objective?
I think that we're in a very interesting time right now. We are seeing record numbers of black candidates running up and down the ballot across all sides of the aisle. And so taking this time to really highlight the stories of the black and brown community and highlighting what issues they really want to see our elected officials tackle, or that they themselves are trying to tackle at this moment, I just think this is the time to do it. We're in a very interesting moment.
I mean, just talk about the idea behind this podcast and how did it come about? Did you wake up one morning saying, oh, we need to do this? How did it come together?
A little story, have always wanted to be able to do a podcast. I think that there is something very powerful in audio that we don't always get to have come across in our written stories. And I think there's something that can be very emotional about hearing somebody really speak and share that story, or share why they're passionate about the policy that they're trying to change, or why they're out marching in the streets. And I wanted folks to be able to hear that emotion as opposed to being a little bit removed from it in an article.
Now, do you plan on talking to elected officials, those who have a history in politics? I mean, what kind of guests do you want to have?
So I'm very excited. Our first episode, which we launched this month, dealt with the importance of black queer activists. And so we were able to speak with advocates such as the Human Rights Campaign, as well as the National Black Justice Coalition. But as we move forward, I do hope to speak with more names. We do have an episode coming up that will have Representative Ayanna Pressley on it, as well as the NAACP. So we're starting to delve in, but nobody is safe from an interview with Cheyanne.
And that's the way it's supposed to be. Now, you talked about episodes. You're going to have, what, one episode each month? What kind of discussions do you expect to have?
I think they're going to be very intimate. I think that, we started off already with a very big topic of looking at who are some of the black queer activists that we don't know. Perhaps why don't we know them? Obviously, we're seeing some battles take place at the state level right now between both black history and LGBTQ+ identity and sexuality. So we started off very large, and I don't plan to stop that. Our next episode is going to be about Black Lives Matter. And then from there, we're going to get into the March on Washington 60 years later. So there's no small topics in this podcast.
And where can people find the podcast?
This podcast right now is on The Hill's website, thehill.com, and it will also be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts very soon.
It's just kind of interesting because when you talk about race and politics, there's a lot of layers there. And it just seems like that your goal is to kind of dig into those layers and kind of get maybe to the root of the issue or even the problem. Talk about that.
I think it's a little bit of both. Yeah. I think in every episode that I want to do, again, these topics are not easy. They are emotional. They are hard. And for a lot of the individuals that we're speaking about, these are their lives that are being impacted. And so I want to shine a light on that so folks can see and hear not just who's being impacted, but how they're being impacted. But I also always want to leave individuals and our listeners with a feeling of hope that, it's not awful to wake up black in America. We are black and we are proud and we love that. We love our culture. And it's important that we remind folks that in the midst of some things that folks might think are attacks on our culture, at the same time we're saying, but we're still here and we're still moving forward and we are still finding ways to succeed.
All right, Cheyanne Daniels, thank you so much for joining us.